Morris was a traditionalist and very slow to change his ways or his point of view. But once he did, he embraced change with passion and purpose. What I remember most about him was how excited he would get when he would learn something new. His eyes would light up and flash like lightning. His gestures would become more and more animated when he gave expression to his excitement. He was a child of the Orisha Shango Omo Shango. Shango, the sky father, the Orisha of thunder and lightning. Shango, the royal ancestor of the Yoruba people, as he was the third king of the Oyo kingdom. The energy given from the spirit of lightning is also a major symbol of African resistance against those elements of European culture that oppress and enslave. Morris's life was a symbol to this resistance. Morris championed Africa. He lifted Africa up. He was a warrior. In his passion, like his guardian spirit, he snarled like a leopard, and people often ran away. His eyeballs glowed like charcoal. He was the famous one of the city and could use hundreds of weapons to win victory in war. And he would use pieces of broken walls to defeat his enemies. But he was kind and generous to his friends and family. To Africa, he gave back bags and bags and bags upon bags of books and supplies filled with scissors, paper, pencils, calculators to children in South Africa, the Bahamas, Fiji, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti. He used travel, driven by a secret urge to get out of the normal world and into the broader perspective of mind, and made this one of the most important practices of his life. For getting on a plane into a foreign land somehow gave him permission to step out of his everyday concerns, expectations, and plans, and open up to broader vistas and greater perspectives of living. And in doing so, he was able to give himself selflessly and exhaustively. He was able to pass that gift on to others by carrying the message of Africa to people, and by carrying people annually to Africa to experience it and to know it. He was champion in his community. He blew himself up to contain the issues affecting South Florida's African-derived populations, working with prisoners, undocumented workers, community associations, trying to make a way out of no way, trying, like his guardian spirit, to beget life in the domain of the dead, to animate hope where hope has fled, leaving his mark and huge shoes to fill. He was a champion to his students, a tough taskmaster. He demanded that they regulate their own learning, never skimping on study or research. But he also showed them the limits of reason. He showed them another human capacity, another tool better suited to dealing with the complex issues of life. He showed them the sovereign intelligence which sees in a twinkle of an eye the truth of all things. That intuition is the energy that drives our being, and that all of our knowing arises out of this intuition. Morris in the classroom and at his best demonstrated an instantaneous grasp of how things fit together, bringing the many and the sundry complex pieces of a puzzle into an ordered relationship, often providing in a flash or in some other mysterious way an answer to a question or a problem that takes all factors into account. He showed us the certainty of these moments of insight, and because of the certainty such moments bring, he showed us that intuition might be the true source of our deepest truths and our most important realizations. Morris realized his invictus. He has grown into the fullness today of that poem that most of his generation had to recite. He understands now what that poem means. Even now, he is with us, using my voice to leave you all with words of comfort. Hear him, and let your hearts be glad. Now, when I recite Invictus, I can smile the knowing smile of realization, knowing I have given the best of my service, that I have tried, pressed on, and though often failing in my trying, at long last I have won through, bearing the scars and soreness of circumstance, reeling from past predations of chance that bloody my memory still. I have grown into the fullness of that home. Now, when I recite Invictus, I have a treasure trove of trials and triumphs, a boon and bounty in the binds and complications, crises and predicaments, quandaries, and the trouble I've seen to replace those childishly foolish fears of that teacher who made me memorize William Henley's 4 forbidding stanzas, who made me stand up and orate that tubercular one-legged British poet's verse. Now, when I recite Invictus, I can see the wisdom of black teachers and educators making me and whole generations read this poem silently and aloud, making us understand the poem inside the poem, letting the mysterious dark that bore us retain its mystery while making us feel its shape in our hearts and throats, making us leap off the line breaks into abysmal black experience, the poem's enveloping metaphor, though the poet knew it not, seeing each line as magical runes shimmering in the air, reading it out loud, repeating it until we got it right, then going on to the next until the poem was in us and we were free to perform, and perform we did, facing up to the fullness of suffering, falling down, getting up, piercing our fears, keeping weak moments to a minimum. Now, when I recite Invictus, when I reach for it, a comfort to ward against persistent and pervasive mindsets of hopelessness and victimization. As I recite, I count my life's achievements like prayer beads to remind me that I have, in my own inelegant way, fought a worthy fight, lived a good life, embraced my destiny, and now anticipate a deliciously warm, well done from the God that I serve.
Good.